Welcome to this online class entitled Equipping Students with 21st Century Technology Skills for College and Career Readiness. Technology Lesson Plan Writing. This class is available for all teachers who are interested in learning how to equip their students with 21st century technology skills. My name is Donnie Wise. I'm the CEO and founder of QuickieTech, and my email address can be found in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. My email is donnie.wise@gmail.com, and I encourage you as a student to contact me anytime you have a question. I'd like to introduce myself to you a little bit in order for you to know me, so that when you do email me, you at least have a little sense of the background of the person who's instructing you with this course. I'm an educator. I also work in industry. I spend about 40 to 50 hours at a company called RAND Corporation, which is a research think tank located in Santa Monica. And I work with industries all across the world, and I'm quite familiar with computer technology in the workplace. Not only that, but my family is immersed in the Los Angeles public school system. My wife's a teacher, and both my son and my daughter are in the Los Angeles Unified School District. I've taught students at the college level. I've taught children at the elementary level. And I've taught students at the high school level. And I know as an instructor what it is like to be frustrated with technology. Yes, I have been this person who has at times been at the printer and the printer's not working, been on my computer or my iPad and it's not connecting to the internet, or just been trying to use a simple program and it's not working. And it's at those moments I wish I could take a sledgehammer and just smash my computer. So if you ever get frustrated with technology, I'd like you to realize I've been there. I know what it's like. And I hope through the lessons that you'll be going through in this particular course, you will receive lots of help for using technology in a very simple way. And not only so, but you will build up a capacity to help your students know how to use technology in a very methodical way. I'd like to tell a little story here at this point in time because I think it'll actually help you understand how I intend to teach this class. This story actually involves my daughter. She's 12 years old now, but 4 years ago she was 8 years old, and she was invited to be the flower girl at my sister's wedding. So it was great. My daughter and we basically flew out to Ohio. My wife and my son couldn't make it because they had to go to a conference. And lo and behold, my daughter got to be the flower girl. Well, it's very interesting. After that, I decided to drive her up about an hour north of Fairborn, Ohio, to Columbus. And she had a friend there, and as we were driving, just me and her, she said, "Daddy, I want to send a message to Mommy." So I took my cell phone out. It looked like this, that's on your screen, and I handed it to her. I said, "Go ahead and send a message." And she said, "How do I do it?" So I purposely, vaguely, gave her some general directions. Go ahead and click the top right button. On the menu, look for the phrase text, and then go ahead and use the keypad to actually text Mommy. And so, with my eyes glancing back and forth between my rearview mirror and the road, I watched her in minutes take this complicated device and, as an 8-year-old, send a text message to her mom, receive a message back, and then watch her text again and again and again. Now mind you, this particular cell phone is not that easy to text on. You know, to do hello, you have to kind of go to like 5 and then 3, then like 6, 6, 7, something like that. But she was able to do it. But the story doesn't end there, and it's actually the second half of the story that I want to make a particular point to impress you how needed you as a teacher are in helping kids learn technology. So 4 years later, fast forward, this happened actually just a few weeks ago. We're presently now in March of 2014, and once again I'm driving with my daughter. She's in the back, I'm in the front, and I asked her a simple question, actually in preparation for this lesson, just to understand where she's at in her knowledge of technology skills as it relates to college readiness and the workplace. There's a difference between being really quick at learning gadgets and knowing how to use technology for college and for the workplace. And it's the second half of the story where I realized my daughter's not there yet. So I said, "Do you know how to type?" And she said, "Yes, I know how to type." So I said, "When you put your fingers on home row, what's the first letter?" And she couldn't tell me. So I thought, oh, well, maybe she doesn't know what home row is. And so I said, when you put your fingers on a keyboard, that middle row, your pinky is hitting one particular letter. What is that? And she didn't know. So I said, well, it's A. What's the second letter? And she didn't know that it was S. This is, if you look on your screen, this is a keyboard. And A, S, D, F are the first 4 letters on home row. And she said, I can type, but I can't type unless I can see a keyboard. Now, isn't that interesting? You may think, well, that's not a big deal. Well, actually, it kind of is a big deal. I go to work every day, and I'm sending memos, I'm sending emails, I'm sending reports, I'm drafting documents, and I'm typing. If you go into a doctor's office, yeah, they come with their stethoscope and they, listen to you and they check your temperature. But you know what? They then go back into a room. You know what they do? Is they type. And if you're a store manager, they're typing. The 21st century skills very much depends on a student's ability to type, and to type without having to look at the keyboard. And so I realized 2 things. You can teach students technology by these 2 particular ways. And like the title of the slide says, 2 important ways to teach students technology. Number 1, and this is very important, give them some general direction with technologies and then allow them some freedom to explore. Like I did. I just handed the phone, gave some general directions to my daughter, and at age 8, she was off and running. And there will be times when you enter into your classroom and you'll just ask your students a wild question. Students, today what I'd like for you to do is, after class, I want you to go home and come up with a few theories of how Christopher Columbus was able to persevere while sailing the ocean all the way to America, despite the challenges he faced. Maybe the thought that the world was flat, who knows, maybe it wasn't. Maybe there's a thought that mutiny was about to occur on the boat because the trip was taking too long. There was definitely disease. There was definitely some stale food. But what kept him going? Go ahead and go do some research on a computer. And maybe they don't have a computer. And so they'll look at you and say, well, I don't know how to do that. You can just kind of look back at them and say, well, just go try and figure it out. Maybe your mom has a cell phone, an iPhone, you can do a search on that. Maybe you can go to a FedEx Kinko's and you can actually get on one of their computers. Maybe you can go to a library, but just throw out an idea and let them run with it. It's a valuable way to teach them technology. But there's a second way to teach them technology, and that's to help them to systematically and progressively, I underlined this on the screen, systematically and progressively learn how to acquire the skills needed for today's colleges and workplaces. And that's also another type of way to teach your students technology. Sometimes you'll come in with just an idea and you'll let them play. And if you have a computer lab at your school, that's even better. But you know, there's other times when it's not just about playing. It's about helping them methodically learn technology skills. And I would say for the most part, although we'll touch way number one at the top, we're more going to focus on number two, and that is building capacity in your skill set to actually teach students computer skills. So it goes without saying, being able to text does not mean a student has acquired the skills needed for the workplace. It's very simple. Just because students, they're fast, they're quick, they know how to tweet in Twitter, they know how to use Facebook, it doesn't mean they're ready for the workplace. It doesn't mean they're ready for college. And so don't let the fact that students and young people are so good at these gadgets intimidate you the least. You should walk in your classroom and you should have the full confidence you need me in order to prepare for college and the workplace. And you need the technology instruction that I can provide you. I'd like to make this very bold claim. Nothing can replace the teacher in the classroom. Now I know there's all kinds of ideas out there that computers are getting smarter and smarter, and pretty soon they're going to take over the whole world, and pretty soon teachers aren't needed. Well, I've got news for you. You and I are irreplaceable. Why? Because the 21st century technology skills are not just skills that focus on gadgets. I want to make this very clear. The 21st century technology skills are skills that use computer technology, but that enable our students to become critical thinkers and to convey ideas, solutions, and meaningful thought for the sake of the complex problems that we're facing in the 21st century. That's why the title of this class is not just teaching kids technology. It's equipping your students with 21st century technology skills for college and career readiness. I'd like to give you the structure of this entire course. You'll notice there are 7 steps here, and I call this the 21st century technology skills staircase. If you get this model in the next 15 lessons, and you come away with nothing else except this staircase, you will have a very solid model, mental model, of how to teach your students technology, no matter what grade you're in, or no matter what grade your students are in, rather. So let's go through each of these steps. First is keyboarding. Second is gathering. That's searching. Third is comprehending, evaluating, synthesizing, summarizing, and lesson plan writing. Now some of you are thinking, well, these aren't the technology skills I had thought you would be teaching. I thought maybe number 1 would be iPads, because that's coming into LAUSD. Number 2 would be computers. Number 3 would be Google. Number 4 would be Microsoft Office tools. These tools are all necessary. But I want you to take note of the phraseology of these words. Each of these builds a kind of capacity that does more than just use a gadget. It actually makes them critical thinkers that can collaborate, communicate, innovate, and solve real practical life problems. And the 15 lessons that you'll go through all are categorized under one of these topics. You may be asking, well, where did I get those words, and how does that relate to the Common Core standards? Well, these phrases are the exact phrases used in the Common Core. And so I read this in front of you. Research and media are skills blended into the standards as a whole. To be ready for college, workforce training, and life in a technological society, students need the ability to gather, comprehend, evaluate, synthesize, and summarize information and ideas. Catch that again. To be ready for college, workforce training, and life in a technological society, students need the ability to gather, comprehend, evaluate, synthesize, and summarize information and ideas, to conduct original research, to answer questions, to solve problems, and to analyze and create a high volume and extensive range of print and non-print text in media forms, old and new. That's page 3 of the California Common Core Standards. Well, you might say, okay, well, looking at this technology staircase, I saw the word gather, comprehend, evaluate, synthesize, and summarize. I didn't see that first staircase, keyboarding. Where's that located? Well, it's interesting. That also is located in the Common Core Standards. Particularly if you look at level 4th grade, it says this: with some guidance and support from adults, use technology, including the internet, to produce and publish writing, as well as to interact and collaborate with others. Demonstrate sufficient command of keyboarding skills to type a minimum of 1 page in a single setting. This type of phrase is used at different levels. I think once you get to sixth grade, they have to be able to type 3 pages in a single setting. So what will you learn? Upon successful completion of this course, participants will be able to know: 1, they'll learn how to use technology and skills needed in today's workplace. Number 2, they'll learn to create lesson plans that teach your students how to use technology and apply key skills. And then number 3, you'll be able to engage students of diverse backgrounds in real-world projects found in the workplace with specific support for English learners. Again, showing you the staircase: keyboarding, gathering, comprehending, evaluating, synthesizing, summarizing, and then the last one is lesson plan writing. Really the last step, which you'll actually see hints of it throughout all the 15 lessons, is training you how to create a lesson plan that teaches your students computer skills. So let's look at really the entire overview of the class. Lesson 1 is the overview. That's this lesson. Lesson 2 and 3 is keyboarding. That's the first step. Lesson 4 is gathering, which is really searching the internet, being able to find and gather information on the internet that's meaningful. That's lesson 4. Lesson 5 and 6 is comprehending, which, if you're looking at the little man at the bottom again, he's there on the, by the time you get to 5 and 6, he's on the 3rd step. Lesson 7 and 8, evaluate. 9 and 10, synthesize. 11 and 12, summarize. Lesson 13, I'm going to talk about project-based learning. This will be actually very interesting. And lesson 14 and 15, we actually hit the matter of technology lesson plan writing. That is creating an objective, creating a series of steps that'll help your students learn the technology skills, and actually have lessons plans that build one upon another, so that by the end of the year they actually have successfully conquered, acquired a particular skill set that relates to computers. Now don't worry, you don't have to be good at computers. You don't even have to know how to type well. Believe me, there's a lot of people, great minds on this earth, who are producing outstanding research that need to look at a keyboard and type. And so don't be discouraged if you don't have one of these skill sets. But these great minds, believe me, they know how to gather information, comprehend it, evaluate it, synthesize it, and summarize it. And as a teacher, all you need to do is build up the capacity to instruct students on these major areas, and then give them some guidance with the technology plans that you'll be learning in this class for your students. I'd also like to say, if you don't have a computer lab or you don't have computers in your classroom, this course will still be valuable to you. And I will make sure that I will give hints, direction, instruction, explanation of how your students can actually utilize and touch the technology, even if in your classroom you don't have access to it. Quickie Tech, for example, in Los Angeles, has a computer lab, and so go ahead and send me an email, and we can talk more about that. Otherwise, in your area, if you're taking this course and you're not in Los Angeles, I can direct you to different resources in your area. The way to contact me is the website. That's my contact information. I have office hours Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and there's the phone number there. And then I'll be given a final survey at the end, and I hope to get 5-star rating from you. If during the course of this particular online education experience you're not getting a 5-star experience, I want to know about it so that I can make it up to you. So we conclude again with the title of this first overview. Basically, the class as a whole is called Equipping Students with 21st Century Technology Skills for College and Career Readiness, Technology Lesson Plan Writing. You can now click Mark as Complete and then click Next to go to the next unit. Thank you.